Me calling you a radical. You know I'm a numbers guy. I'm a big numbers guy. Always have been. Oh, they matter. He stayed on his side, the elasticity of time. So Dillon Jones makes his debut, his professional basketball debut tomorrow. Not in Oklahoma City, in Utah. So he plays at 5 o'clock. I'll just take the train down. And this is a big deal because come on, it's Dillon Jones. I mean, it's going to be so cool, so fun. And the only time we can afford to go to a professional basketball game, right? I can't afford to go. Nobody can, And I don't want to be one of those elitist muck assholes anyway. So the tickets are $8. So I'll take the train down and go. It's at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So I want to talk about this because I'm a boy-girl twin, Kevin and Kara. I have a twin sister. And I've always known boy-girl twins are so unique, so dynamic, in the womb together. When we were little kids, there was a special program in the country. I mean, my life's been being tracked from the day I was young because of my father being nuked in the back, blah, blah, blah. They separate the kids, in school, whatever. But the irony of these two incredible athletes we have, Damian Lillard, Dillon Jones has a twin sister. Damian Lillard, do you know he has a boy-girl twin? His children, he has a boy-girl twin. His child. And I like how everybody talking shit on Lillard, not in shape to y'all. Please. Damian Lillard out of shape is like a normal human being working their ass off to be in shape. He's a freak when it comes to workout. There's never been one like that. These hard workers. So, I'll tell you the other irony. Don't let it get in your eyes. Dillon Jones, my favorite player ever played it. Oh, yeah. Before that, Jerry Harding. We always have great players here. Great players. And, all eyes will be on. This team's always loaded. Always loaded with talent. Blaze 3, Siddell's son, who I'm friends with, he come up. God, Kevin, I owe you, man. Yeah, you do. Everybody does. I said, no way. He's going to the first round. You're the only one that was the true believer. And I said, I knew he was going. I'm surprised he went. So Joel Bass, the legendary trainer here, I talked to him a few days before the draft, about a week. And he said, now, what day? I said, the 26th. He says, Wizards spent an hour with me on the phone. I says, who's going to take him? He says, who? And I says, the Knicks. He says, really? And I says, these guys are all over him. Because I follow these scouts. I follow these guys, and I know the ones who's good and the ones that are not. You don't think Damian Lillard was still in the draft? Fuck. First ballot Hall of Famer. So we're all rooting around here for an NBA Finals. Thunder versus Bucks. Not that far-fetched, by the way. And Sam, I got to give it to him, the GM there. I've been reading about him, what he says, this guy knows his shit, man. He's been all over Dillon the whole time. Dillon's season here, I sat right on the front row of things. I mean, I've been here the whole time. These incredible players that we have in this facility, it's like the best kept secret in the world as far as it's unbelievable. They don't win, but I'll tell you another irony. Of course, Fukushima, March 11, 3/11. When was Dillon Jones' last game at Weber State? Don't tell me 3. Oh, yeah. When was the famous game? The greatest performance in the history of this building was Anthony Johnson. Never missed a field goal for who tragically passed away this year. When Lillard was up by 22 points, got beat in the Big Sky. Neither Lillard, neither Dillon Jones played in the NCAA tournament. For real. I remember talking to Dillon when he was a freshman. And a bunch of them around, I'm telling you, that Damian never got to play in a tournament. What are you talking about? I says, Randy Ray's never won a tournament game. What? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'm getting him a tournament. I tell him every time, I'm holding you to it. Well, that didn't happen, so I guess we'll have to get an NCAA. We'll have to get an NBA ring. Who will get it first, Lillard or Jones? I mean, hopefully. I mean, 1, 2. Now Dillon's 3. See, and by the way, if it wasn't for Damian Lillard, Dillon would have never been drafted first round. It was Damian Lillard that got his foot in the door last year. Lillard's one. I've told Dillon this multiple times. I says, listen, Dillon, your fame and your notoriety, you can thank one person. And he says, who's that? And I says, Damian Lillard. And he says, oh yeah, no doubt. He's a humble, down to earth. And so I told Dillon's mom in here last year, early in the season, she was here, and I'm like, he's most likely the best player who's ever played here. In the schools, well, I don't know if in the school's history, Willie Sojourner, but, Watmasaka, Byron Scott's father, they played down at the old JC. Watmasaka's the first player of color in the history of the NBA. There's so much history here. Basketball metaphors matter. Alan Hall. But in this building, it's Dillon Jones. Was Jerry Carty. Lillard, great player here. Don't kid yourself. So was Scotty Mapforth. They're 4. So was the other 4. Gill. How about 21? Harold Arsenal of the show. So Scotty Bamforth, Jeremy Sieglin, Joe Ballenboy. These great players have played in this era. Me and my grandson was talking, one of them last night. He's like, nah, I know who they're going to say, because they're not big Weber State basketball guys. They loved Harding, but they'll throw it right in my face. Oh, no. There's only one athlete here. No one will ever touch him. No one will ever touch him. And I says, oh, yeah, and I know who you're going to say. Rashid Shaheed. My grandsons love Rashid. Well, he spent so much time with them. He would physically talk to him. They mentor him. I think self-confidence wise, the run, their thing. I think Rashid Shaheed's responsible for both my grandsons are. Just marquee athletes. They're incredible. Of course, it's all soccer around here. So it's going to be a big year for Weber State athletics. It's going to be a fun year for us as fans because we get to watch multiple players, the NFL, oh, fuck, Rashid Shaheed I named it the Rashid Shaheed. With the new kickoff rule, I hope to get to a game this year. Jonah Williams is playing for the Vikings now. We have Opeta's with the Bucks now. Of course, Teron Johnson is the pioneer of this whole era. He's the one that started this whole thing with, him and the legendary Coach Jay Hill. But Abraham Williams up at Idaho. Fuck, Abraham Williams will play in the NFL. No doubt in my mind. That's an athlete. As I named Rashid Lightning because lightning struck. I used to call him just don't kick to the rocket. Don't kick to the rocket. Don't throw to the rocket. Don't go to the rocket. Don't go to the rocket. I used to just call him Rocket Rashid until lightning struck the building when he knocked out freaking Whittingham shitting out both legs. Lightning literally struck the building and they had to delay the game over a freaking hour and a half right as he returned the kick. So I call him Lightning Rashid. What comes after lightning? Thunder. So we got thunder. So Dillon's name, as you know, I always call Dillon. I'm the guy that named Dillon Dantley Magic Jones. At first I started calling him Dillon Dantley or Dillon Magic. That high dribble of his, rebounding fucking machine. He's a point guard that rebounds. He's the greatest rebounding point guard since Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's the greatest rebounding point guard in basketball history, bar none. I really thought maybe he would go to the Lakers. The Celtics wanted, but the Celtics won the chance. They weren't getting that draft. Now think about it. They traded 5 second-round draft picks to get him. 5. They would have took him if somebody was going to. They were just laying there. Who's going to take him? Somebody going to take him at 8? Somebody going to take him 7? Somebody going to take him 9? They were surprised. And no, we're ready. Well, the Knicks wanted him so bad too. That's why it was 5. Who gives up 5 second-round draft picks for a 26 pick because he's probably legitimately a 6 or 5 or 7 pick. I'm telling you, watch him shine in the NBA. So in football, we got our great kicker, Jumping Jack, as I call him. He's at Texas Tech. I think he's got a legitimate chance to play in the NFL. Now, we got in the summer camps going right now, we still have Maxwell Anderson fighting for position for the 49ers. You know, there's a Winston Reed's playing for the Cleveland Browns. We got, of course, Jack Kelly and Marquise Collins, incredible players. They're playing at BYU now, so we're going to have to watch multiple teams on multiple fronts. But, you know, it's going to get ready to be, it's going to be, I mean, I look at this era of athletes at Weber State. The best cup secret in cup, K-U-P-P, secret in all of sport is Big Sky football. And this team's loaded to the gills this year. We'll see. You know, very big disappointment last year, but we'll see this year. They got lots of talent. They'll be fired up. They'll be ready to play, and we're excited to watch Abraham Williams. That's a fucking NFL superstar in the making, big time. You know, he's up at Idaho, and, you know, Burgess is punting at Texas Tech. He's a potential NFL player. I think that Jack Kelly, there's no doubt in my mind he's the world champion BMX rider. You know, he played only for a cup of coffee here, year. He's a BYU. Jay Hill, of course. Jay Hill is Jay Hill, the legend. So I'm gonna catch the train. I'll go down for his debut tomorrow. We're gonna bust probably every record we ever had in the state of Utah. This heat dome, this heat bubble. Oh fuck! Oh, in the middle of the week, we're talking 105, 106, 107 degrees here. These are all-time records going to be broken here. Like Dillon broke other records here. And as you know, I told Kev, you can't leave. He and I do our vlog together, Kevin, and no, because he's planning on moving. He's ready to retire. He's going to leave the country like, well, almost everybody has to do. They can't afford to retire. And I was like, no, you can't go. Why? I says, we have to do the vlog for football and basketball because of Steve Klauke has been killed. Steve Klauke was the greatest. This whole era, and it was kind of like all this greatness started at Weber State when Teron Johnson came here, Jay Hill came here, when Klauke started doing the call. I hope his death isn't the end. I don't think so. We have lots of great athletes here, but it's heartbreaking. And I know for a fact Klauke's favorite player ever, oh, he loved Dillon Jones. Loved it. Dillon Jones with another Karam collection, another double-double for Dillon. He loved Dillon Jones. And he really did. And so we're excited for him. And I'm a big numbers guy. This legendary training program here, you know, Lord's personal trainer is an ex-assistant coach here. I mean, he's still there. I mean, he went with Lord, stayed with him the whole time. There's all kinds of trainers over the years that came from this program. And one of the trainers ended up being a trainer for Kobe Bryant. I remember telling me, this is clear back in the Bagelin days, when the great Ruben Nemhard and the great Jimmy DeGraff, and he talked about players. Well, talk about a team. 95 when they had Iverson beat and lost on the Hail Mary in Sweet 16, but he says, Blanch, Kobe Bryant's got this quantum physics mind like you. I said, well, I know he's brilliant. I mean, he grew up in Italy, you know, speaking multiple languages. He was only 18, you know, he's the Moses Malone of our time. You know, he set the table for him, you know, the great legend, the legend Jerry West is the one that, I mean, talk about orchestrated that. He's passed away this year. So, I said, what do you mean? He told me one time, he says, isn't it amazing how basketball mirrors culture? Not as a mirror culture, it tells you the future before it happens. Kobe Bryant. You know, Utah ties in that building. I watched MJ knock down the shot. I had season tickets to the Jazz in those days. I see Karl Malone sold his 88 Dream Team autograph things way too cheap. Why the fuck? I always thought Larry Miller had that, but Larry Miller sold it to the BYU Jazz now. They want to tear down the Big Dumb Drum. They should have never torn down the Salt Palace, but it's all about greed and numbers. So I'm not going to go watch the Jazz play and pay fucking $15 a beer. The first protest I ever won, the activist Blanch, was in 1979 or 1980. And we were 19 years old, and the pseudo de facto drinking age here was 19-year-old, because Wyoming, Idaho, Utah honored it, even though it was 21. But so Battistone, who owned the Jazz, who we loved, Ricky Green, fastest in them all, the incredible Hot Rod fucking Hundley, the incredible Adrian Dantley. And I just talked to Frank Layton just the other day. I visited at the Raptors game. He's 94. We love Frank Layton. All this comes together through space and time. Numbers matter. I'm a big numbers guy. COVID, March 11th, 2020. Yeah. Who? Jazz players. Gobert. There's a tie between Gobert and Damian Lillard. It's the only reason Damian Lillard got that gold medal. And I told Damian that. Here's my gold medal. Rudy Gobert could not make a free throw. Damian Lillard's won every single award you could possibly win, except for a title. I mean, he won the three-point contest. I mean, Rookie of the Year. He's won them all. It's time till you get to the ring. I mean, bad luck this year. The big teammate, the superstar, the freak got hurt. You can't lose a player in the NBA. It's too competitive. This Thunder team, they're a different brand. This guy, Sam, Dillon's going to play. I think it couldn't have worked out better for Dillon. What comes after Lightning, Rashid? I guess Thunder. That's what I call Abraham Williams Thunder, because he ran kickoffs back like him. He was ready to shatter Rashid Shaheed's record. Well, Dillon's playing for the Thunder, and they're set and they're ready to win. And so you watch it here. By the way, left hand doesn't know what right hands do. The logistics here. I mean, Weber State's academia, and Dillon's a 4.0. I think so is Damon, and so is Blaze, by the way, Siddell's son. But it's a different school than when I went here and I was the guy here. It's a different brand. It's a different thing, but not here. Football is old school here. It's so competitive. It's so good. It's so unbelievable. Big Sky football. These games are excellent. These teams are good. These athletes are marquee. Numbers matter. The fact that Damien had boy-girl twin, I told him that. Right? Congratulations. I have a twin sister. Dillon Jones has a twin sister. They're very unique. John Elway. I mean, you can't make it up. What's the odds? It's like March 11th, Dillon Jones' last game. Damian Lillard, when he gets beat by the incredible, that performance still is insane, what Anthony Johnson did in this game. Insane. Triple team, quadruple team, never missed a field goal or free throw the second half. I mean, they beat him 66-65. I think he had about 40. It was freaky. I've never seen anything like it. That night, March 10th, these numbers, these space and time, Kobe Bryant. Isn't it amazing? The whole COVID thing, March 11th. Spanish flu, March 11th. Fukushima. So, numbers matter. 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. Everybody wants number one here in football because Taron Johnson, he wore 1. Damian Lillard wore 1. Dillon wears 2, 22. That was always. And by the way, I'm so sick of Weber State doing this. No. When we were kids here, always Weber State, when we were the number 1 school in the country in so many ways, it was always this. 2. Peace. We weren't at the military industrial base complex. So if anybody wants to go, I'll just get on the train tomorrow and go down. The train drops you right there. No sense of driving. You know, my old piece of shit beater car. You know, it's a big week for us here. So his debut's tomorrow. We're so excited around here. I know the team because I got invited, but I'm not gonna hang with those. No way. You know, I don't want this school to think I owe them 5 fucking cents the way they fucking abused me and treated me like shit. Everything I've fucking done for them in years, what they've done to me, I'm so pissed off. But I don't take it out on athletes. I love the athletes. Coaches, I'm not a fan of coaches around here. I think coaches in college basketball are way grotesquely overpaid. All of them, football and basketball. Now, we have great assistant coaches here at Weber State football. You know, I always say the great, incredible Jay Hill, who did so much of this. And the incredible Andre Dyson, who's from here. We call it DBU. He's the DB coach. You know why those two are so fucking good, so great coaches? And Andre Dyson was a great player in the NFL. I'll tell you why. It's probably my favorite player in the history of the University of Utah football until Rashid came around. You know who they used to have to guard in practice every fucking day? Steve Smith Jr. You know he's only my height. How would you like to fucking ruffle his feathers? Whoa. Whoa, it's no joke. Big Sky football or basketball, it's no fucking joke around. It's physical and demanding as fuck. So go Dillon, and you know the twin thing blows my mind. Dillon has a twin sister, so do I. Damien has one. You know how rare they are? About 1 in every 200 and less than that, I think. About 1 in every 246 births, twin births. 1 in every 246 twin births. They're rare as fuck. And so, see you tomorrow. You know, I always link back to the great Jerry Rice. He says, my dad was so poor. He came out of the same division football that Weber State plays in. He says, we couldn't even afford scaffold. You know, so my dad was a bricklayer. He says, I was the hod tender. So he would toss the bricks up and down to me. The best hands I ever saw. We're not talking speed. The best hand, Rashid Shaheed. Never drops a fucking pass. Ever. He'll have a breakout year. Think about the contract he's going to get. He's still a free agent, making the league minimum. Pro Bowl. What? Fucking NFL. I can't stand the ownership. Really don't like coaches in the NFL. But I'm a big fan of players and young athletes to watch these come out of Weber State that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted any of these guys. That's what makes this story so beautiful. One scholarship offer in the whole country, Rashid Shaheed. One scholarship, Jonah Williams, Teron Johnson, Jonah Williams, Opeta. One. Adam Rodriguez, one. I don't think Dillon Jones had many offers from anybody. I know Dillon's brother. I've talked to him multiple times. He's a good player. Really, he's a great player in his own right. You know, I said with him, and he's so hard on Dillon. So hard. I said, fuck, you're hard on him, man. Yeah, well, they're not paying for that shit. Well, you gonna go there? You're in the NBA. You're not paying for that shit. I think it helped him a lot. I know it did. You know, and so I'm changing his name to, you know, I always call him Dillon Dantley Magic Jones. The way he plays it, the fact that he shoots 88% from the fucking line blows my mind. He's the all-time leader in steals here. I mean, his defense is incredible. 5 buzzer beaters for 5. He shot 5 game winning on the clock when everybody in the fucking building knows he's getting the ball. Everybody, it's like Michael Jordan. Everybody in the building knows he's going to get it. I was at that game. This game's over. You know, Maloney's got the ball still from him. Here he comes. Well, you think everybody in the building, the Delta Center knew Jordan wasn't going to shoot? course, everybody knew he was going to shoot. Same with Dillon here. 5 times. 5 games. 5 for 5 on buzzer beater. 5 for 5. I was at all of them. You know, and so, well, the home ones, I was at all of them. He had that one down there in California. But, so, I mean, I call him Dillon, Dantley, Magic Jones. So, DDMJ. And by the way, he had all his gear made here. You look at the tags on his gear, made in the USA. Coleman, right here in Ogden. Who do you think talked him into that? Oh, I did. So he's a transformational player. It's a transformational time. And these Weber State outs are going to be very exciting. Very exciting. So the debut's tomorrow, you know, July. So the only time we can afford to go. The first protest I won as the famous activist Kevin Blanch was Battistone raised beers from $1.25, 16-ounce Coors. We were Coors kids then, back when Coors was good. From $1 to $1.25. So we made signs. We used to have a bus that used to go to the Jazz. $240 for this season tickets, good season tickets. They're playing Denver. So we made signs and held up the signs, you know, protesting in front of the beautiful, incredible old Salt Palace. Not only did Battistone lose them back to $1, he sent over rounds to us the rest of the season. You know, and of course Denver was playing, so we made the media all over Denver because, you know, we had Coors shirts on, Coors hats. I don't drink that shit no more because it's not what it was. Well, the NBA is not what it was, but that don't mean we don't root for athletes. You know, the tickets here are still extremely reasonable. You know how much my season ticket costs on the very front row? Whatever. That's with a donation to the Wildcat Club. $350. Of course, we don't get the good games. Nobody will come in and play us. Nobody's afraid of us, but I don't know why. It's such a great venue. So we're rooting for Dillon and Damien. Everybody around here, but before that, Rashid Shaheed. My grandson made sure. He says, no. You know, Dillon Jones. No. Damon, oh, no. I said, I already know who you're going to say. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. Rashid Shaheed. So it'll be an exciting time around here for Weber State Athletics. And by the way, football and basketball, they are loaded with talent this year. You know, so stay tuned.